Dragon Quest, DQ, Dragon Quest is Dairy Queen. Hey guys, Axel Myth here, and new house. It's a work in progress. You don't need to see my mess of everything. This is, what I'm in is kind of a, I don't even want to call it a temporary game room because nothing is set up. The only thing that is literally hooked up right now is my Wii U, and that's because my wife thought we had Breath of the Wild laying around, and, well, not laying around, but you know what I mean. But no, it was in storage. Basically everything's in storage except for the stuff I'm going to show you today, and you know, if you've ever watched another gamer's log, some of the stuff didn't end up in storage, some of it I just, you know, kept in the house in a box and, you know, took it with us the day we moved. Speaking of, if you've ever watched another gamer's log, you'll know that I collect a lot of things, kind of movies and action figures and books as well, and that's all here. Literally, I have so much to show you, and I think I'm going to start with action figures first, just to get those out of the way, because they're kind of on top of everything else. So, so first up, got the Dragon Quest 11 character Amiibo. Never played a Dragon Quest game. I want to play Dragon Quest 11. Hasn't been super duperly expensive, but it's just the time that it takes, you know, to play that one. It's I've heard that it's like a 100-hour game, and I'm playing Breath of the Wild right now, and yeah, it's, I don't know how many hours I've sunk into that game, but I have a feeling it's about 20 or so right now, and I don't feel anywhere close to beating it. Next up, it's another World Series character. This one is of Gohan, and he's in that green tracksuit. This is one that I actually wanted originally when Resurrection F came out, but I don't know, I just never picked it up. I just thought it was funny that, you know, everybody else is in these, you know, regular Dragon Ball outfits, the gis and the stuff, and then he's just in a tracksuit over here, like, you know, it was just humorous. Brought everything else closer to me. All right, I have a few more of those figures. I got this Piccolo. I haven't opened these yet for some reason, mostly because I'm just waiting to get a little more of a permanent place in this house to record. Also got Goku. This is like my second Goku, but I really liked the one with the power pole. And I had to get my favorite human character of Krillin. Okay, honestly, like, I actually like all the human characters in Dragon Ball, not gonna lie, but whatever. Last Dragon Ball Z guy, got Raditz. My wife got me this, I believe, for my birthday, and that was really cool. I really like the pop concept, and it's actually something that I thought of when I was a kid, back in about 2005, maybe 2006. Basically, I had come up with this idea to start making comic books of basically different series, mostly Star Wars, because that's what I was really into at the time. But making different characters basically from the same face, but with like basically like different, like Obi-Wan Kenobi obviously would have a beard and Anakin would not. Yoda would have the same face but with giant ears, you know what I mean? It was, you know, and that's kind of what the Pops do, is like they make cultural, well, iconic characters out of, you know, essentially the same face with a little bit of different expressions and stuff, and so I really like that. Got this for Christmas. This is my Baby Yoda. You should see what my wife got for Christmas. She got a giant plushie Baby Yoda. It's kind of cute. the other things I bought, dang it. I wanted to do a review video on them, but could never really bring myself to do it. I got the Forces of Destiny figures. I don't know, they were kind of like anime Star Wars characters, and the show wasn't all that bad either. Well, I mean, it's not a show, it's like a series of like commercials for individual characters of Star Wars, and they're not that bad cinematically. They're actually really cool looking. All right, so this is the last of the figures. This is something my wife got for me for my birthday. Shovel Knight is one of my favorite, honestly, platformers of all time. It literally topped any Mega Man game and any Mario game, just for its style. And yeah, I got some of the knights from that game, and they all coincidentally have their own games now, which I've thought about getting, but I've been a little reluctant, I guess. I don't know why. I actually have no idea what these do in their respective games, but it's pretty cool. So I really like these. I'm looking for the Shovel Knight himself. I think we're gonna go books now, and I think I'm just gonna start with manga because there's really not that many books here. So I got Noragami number 6. I read this, and I don't know what it was about this one compared to the rest. This was something I got for Christmas, by the way. Like, it sucked me in, I guess, a little more than some of the other ones. I don't know. It was just like, this one was very character driven for like one character, and I don't know, it was just really interesting. So that was Dragon Ball Super number 2. I actually haven't read all of number 1 yet, because kind of how this is set up is like, it kind of, some of the chapters are just like in between arcs of the anime, and I actually started, like, me and my wife had watched like 3 seasons at the time, and I read 2 chapters of the manga, and I was already caught up to the anime, and I was actually going to surpass it. And I was like, okay, I need to watch the anime a bit more, apparently, because and now we're just starting season 8 now. So, all right, and more from Akira Toriyama, or the designer for Dragon Quest. Sandland. This is a pretty neat one-shot kind of story. It's basically about a post-apocalyptic world, and basically this king hoards water and something like that, and like, a human goes with 2 demons, Japanese demons, to basically find this hidden water supply, and then they, it was an interesting story. It's a lot more interesting than I'm making it sound. So yeah, Sandland. I seen an ad for that a lot in like Dragon Ball mangas, by the way, and I thought it was like a series that he did after Dragon Ball, but no, it's literally just like, one book. I mean, it has enough chapters, and it was probably in Shonen Jump, so it probably was like a short series, but it wasn't like, Dragon Ball, you know what I mean? Speaking of series, Dr. Slump. There were some things in here that, like, this is basically a comedy series, and this has definite first syndrome, is how I can describe it. Basically, a lot of the gags tend to be like, something kind of off the wall happens, and then somebody gets mad at it, you know what I mean? Points out how ridiculous it is. Although there was something in here that really made me laugh. I gotta show you this. I just felt like that this was really worth sharing. So basically, Dr. Slump is, it's not even really his name. That's just like kind of a slang name for him, because he's rather lazy. But he's basically this inventor, and the main character you see here, that's actually like a robot android type thing. But basically one day he creates this like future camera where basically you take a picture of something and it will show you what that person looks like in the future, right? So then, like, this really made me kind of laugh. So this is what they look like now, and this is what they'll look like in the future. You know what I mean? And that was funny. Also, this fourth wall joke made me laugh. She takes a picture of the audience, and then she just, like, you know, and then it shows you basically you reading it in 2180. It was just funny. I guess you can say that I'm kind of easily entertained. I will say that, like, the art in the first couple chapters are a little weird to me. Their heads just seem a little too big for their bodies, but then he starts really getting into his own art style that, at least a very early version of what you may recognize. I got Thrawn Ascendancy. I'd read the first two and I really liked them. I never got to read the third, and actually I should have grabbed it when I went into storage to get some things out. I just basically got out a lot of the stuff that we need, like dishes and stuff. Never got to read the third, and then I heard that this one came out, and I was pretty excited for it, so I got it before it disappeared, basically, because I knew that this was gonna maybe stay on, like, you know, store shelves for like a year and then disappear. Okay, so this next one is a series that I've been into for at least a little while, since about 2014. I haven't watched it much, but still something I like nonetheless. Yeah, it's called the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, and I got one of its original novels. I think that this is number 3 in the series, and no joke, this book is basically play-by-play episodes of the actual show. I haven't noticed too many differences. The show really does these books justice, and actually didn't, and like, these are not graphic novels, these are literally just books, and that really surprised me because usually anime come from manga first, but and Haruhi Suzumiya has a manga. I don't really know how it has a manga when the show actually originated from these books, these light novels. I got that for Christmas from my brother, and then I bought number 1, and I have not read this yet because I'm reading another book series. I read that one, and like I said, it's basically play-by-play of episodes, so I'm kind of expecting the same thing from this. But if you like the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, I definitely recommend the books. This next one was for my birthday. Of course, it's got to be Star Wars, of Poe Dameron to be exact. For some reason I haven't read it yet. The art looks pretty good though, so I'll definitely get around to reading it at some point. Okay, so these next ones I wanted to do full-blown videos on, but for books, for me, is really hard to do that with because when I'm reviewing something and I'm just kind of talking about it, you know, I tend to go with what is fresh in my brain. That is why in like some of these other review videos that you see, I usually talk about the final boss. And that's why, is because I usually had just beaten the final boss, a few days before, and like with the Fire Emblem review, I didn't talk at all about the beginning part because that had happened like a month before that review, or even up to 2 months before that review ever happened. So, and then, sometimes I'll think of how the experience was as kind of like a whole, and so then I don't really talk about the earlier parts, and that kind of happened when I tried to review books as well. And I really wanted to do it with these because basically the person behind these books is a YouTuber who reviews video games. In fact, he is kind of a giant inspiration for me, and he's honestly one of the reasons why I wanted to make video game reviews. And he goes by, on the books, he goes by Finny and Valco, but I think they're called the Pride series. This one is called Abyss, and this one is literally called Pride. He's planning a third one, I think. I have read Abyss, and in short, it tries to harken back to like Super Nintendo RPGs and stuff. I'd basically have to take I did review this on Amazon, and I'd basically, to kind of review it, I'd have to kind of take the footnotes of that review and stretch it to like 10 minutes. But basically, rundown version, literally the title of that review, it's really good, but it can use some improvements. There's just certain character things and certain world building elements that I just don't feel like are there. But it's still a good book nonetheless. And Abyss by Finny and Valco, I'd give it a read. You know what? I think it's like $10, so you know. And I think it's cheaper than that if you have like a tablet or something like that, and you just download the digital version. So. And then Pride, I've only read a little bit of, and he seems to be kind of doing the same thing without, I see a little bit more of like building upon the world he'd made, at least, so that's really good. But, yeah, definitely recommend that little series of books. So now we're going to go on to DVDs, shows, what have you. And, well, you saw this, the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, Season 1 and 2. Okay, so the story behind that one is, like, I'm really excited to talk about these. I never get to. Season 1 I had bought a while back on DVD, and that was before I really cared for Blu-ray. But when I looked up Season 2 not that long after, Season 2 ended up being almost like $60 for DVD, for like one DVD, and that I think that did come with the entire season. So, but still, that was very expensive, and I didn't really want to spend that much on just that season when literally all 4 discs of Season 1 costed me $60. You know what I mean? So, yeah. This ended up, I think actually ended up being $60. I'm not even gonna lie. And this comes with all 28 episodes. I'm really excited to watch this show again in Blu-ray. And I'm really glad that Funimation picked this up, because like this show would have probably disappeared, unfortunately, if it weren't for them. And think of Funimation how you will, but for this show, I'm really grateful that they picked this up. So I also got the Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. This is basically an overblown 3-hour-long episode, but this is like, I don't even know. I consider it to be one of the greatest episodes of the show. I really liked this movie, and again, that was one of those things that it was like, I looked it up once and it reached $100. I kid you not. It was at least getting close to that. So again, giant thank you to Funimation for picking that up. Alright, we know Dragon Ball's in here somewhere. I got Season 7, Season 8. So to recap, Season 6 did not disappoint me as much as I was told, although it was very convoluted. I don't really want... I'm not planning on reviewing the show, but yeah, I figured since I left that off last time I did one of these, I would share that. I've seen Season 7, really thought that Goku is an idiot. That's all I have to say. That's all I really have to say about the season, is that Goku's an idiot. And then Season 8, I'm pretty excited to go into the next season, although it's been really hard to kind of get motivated to watch it because basically it feels like they're dragging along the plot line right now because of Goku's stupidity, and I don't know, I just don't like that. But I am pretty excited to see the rest of the show still. It's not like I'm turned off from watching it because of that. We got some blockbuster movies. First up, whew, that's shiny. 2004 versions of Star Wars. I think my wife found this not too long after my birthday, and like, I don't really display it or talk about it much, but I have been kind of collecting different releases of Star Wars, so I'm really glad to have the 2004 version in my hands. Time to find the gold one, and then time to find the silver one for the 97 versions. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I like Star Wars, especially the original trilogy. Don't judge me. The Mummy, with Boris Karloff. That's such an awesome name, I'm not even gonna lie. So, I've also been trying to watch these at least every Halloween. And, well, first off, it's called The Golden Age of Horror. And these movies aren't super scary. But, they are monster movies. And the reason why is because I was watching Cinemassacre, and I just started, Who is the Angry Video Game Nerd? And I just started going back and watching some Monster Madness stuff, and the dude is really obsessed with, James Ralph that is really obsessed with horror movies, and he just got me to try watching them by watching some of those. And I was kind of curious as to the 1930s horror movies, so that's why I kind of chose that particular era. I'm probably not gonna do like the 1980s horror movies. I only really care about the very old classics. I don't know why that is. With that said, it was really interesting to see where we got the kind of the, I don't want to say stereotype, but the stereotype for Dracula. Bela Lugosi as Dracula. I've never seen Jaws. I'm expecting a great classic out of this movie. That is what I'm expecting. This was supposedly the first blockbuster, and the shark still looks fake. And this is called Moonlight Sword, Jade Lion, and The Bloody Fists. These were Dollar General pickups, so I'm not expecting much. But they look like interesting films from what I read on them. So, you'd be surprised what you can find, because like, I was honestly wanting to do some movie reviews if anybody would watch them. I found this movie series called Transers. They made 4 of them, and it was so bad that it was good type thing. And then there was Zarkor, which wasn't good, but I really wanted to talk about it because it was just so, I don't even have a word for it, but it was just so, I don't even want to say bad it was good, but I don't even know, man. So, to cap things off, I've got more movies that inspired Star Wars, and today we have Seventh Samurai. I haven't watched this one yet, unfortunately. This is one of the main ones that people say if you love Star Wars, watch, because this is one of the main inspirations for it. In fact, this has been parodied in Star Wars no less than 3 times. Once in a 1977 or 78 comic, and once in the Clone Wars, and then literally season 1 of The Mandalorian, the first episode with, no, I don't think that episode, I think it was the first one with Cara Dune. That was literally an homage to Seven Samurai. So, I'm really excited to see this one at some point. It's just hard to sit down by myself and watch movies. And these are not something that my wife particularly is interested in. And Throne of Blood. This one, it was the direct inspiration for the Sith. And basically what the movie is about is this... There are these two guys, two samurai, and I don't exactly remember, but they end up running into this ghost. This ghost gives them a premonition of their futures. The one guy will be basically second commander, and then the main character, who is played by... But the main character, Toshiro Miyafune, is given this premonition that he will basically be not the emperor, but, you know, basically the Grand Duke or whatever of this nation or whatever. I don't know. But basically what ends up happening is that these premonitions come true, and then I think the ghost gives him another premonition that his kingdom will fall or something like that. And then he gets really paranoid at his best friend and stuff, and he actually has his best friend and his son killed, and it literally drives him and his wife insane. And basically, like, there's kind of this war going on in the background. It's kind of like a subplot that, like, then becomes part of the main plot. And basically this army comes up to rise against him, and he's just insane, and yeah, his kingdom falls. I mean, spoiler alert. So that was it for movies, and now I'm going to go on to, I don't even know, just kind of miscellaneous, I guess. And I got NES coasters. I'll put them all on screen later. But, like, yeah, I got Metroid here. There's Donkey Kong. There's just a bunch of NES games here. And it's just really cute. They even have one like Zelda somewhere right here. Yeah, these are really cool. Should have put this with the figures, but I also got this Bullet Bill car. I don't know. I got that for Christmas. I also got the coasters for Christmas. Forgot to mention that. And again, for Christmas, my parents got me a set of Joy-Cons. These are not Nintendo branded, but I have to tell you that they are very close. I think the main thing that these are missing is the Amiibo support. I don't think that these actually have that, and you cannot fit them into the controller skeleton. But these are still super comfortable. The buttons don't feel nearly as weird as they look, because, you know, you see that they kind of have like an oval shape to them. But they don't feel any cheaper than a regular Joy-Con does. And I was really surprised at that. Even the joysticks. Okay, the joysticks are like number one thing that third-party companies get wrong all the time. And they feel exactly right for a Joy-Con. Something that I do think I like in these a little better is that the joysticks are concave instead of convexed, and you know, it just helps my thumb sink into it a little better, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, these are really good. Who are these by? It doesn't really have a name, and it says you know, for N switch, so it's probably really shady. Oh yeah, this also has these do have a gyroscope, by the way. And oh yeah, and I guess something else that these are missing is the HD rumble, which isn't a problem for some games, but for like Mario Odyssey, where you don't really notice that it's vibrating, but it is. These things are also super loud with the vibrate. Let me tell you, like, it's like it's like a cell phone on vibrate, and like that's what I was trying to say with Mario Odyssey. It's like those little subtle vibrators were going it's like, okay, what? What do you want me to do? I also got this really recently. I got a Yoshi Wii connector GameCube looking controller, and Nintendo is definitely killing the Wii U, unfortunately, but I still like these controllers, and I really wish that they added like an adapter to USB to use on the Switch. And if not, I hope third-party companies think about it, because like these, I feel like that these are not bad controllers. You know what I mean? All right, now that we've had our vegetables, it's time to get into dessert, basically what we're all here for. And first up, for Christmas, I got Fire Emblem Awakening. I really liked Fire Emblem Echoes, so I'm really excited to play this on my 3DS. This is awesome to have right here. Alright, so last from limited run games are these. We got Panzer Dragoon, which I heard is fun, but not very fun to complete. Mostly because you have to play this thing for 100 hours, and this game does not have 100 hours worth of content, I guess. Pretty excited to play this because the Sega Saturn tends to be the console I'm a little nostalgic for rather than the PlayStation. I've never actually played an original PlayStation game. Unfortunately, the Sega Saturn was just, it's always been too expensive to really, collect for, or my oldest brother to buy, or if he had the money for it, he never did. You know what I mean? So it's really awesome to have, a Sega Saturn game. Star Wars Pod Racer. I didn't have a lot of experience with this one, actually. I remember playing it on the 64 a bit, and I remember on the 64 it was really hard to figure out where to go. This, I think, is the Dreamcast port. Yeah, it was just a lot easier to tell where you're going and stuff. And me and my oldest brother played this a little bit, and it was super fun. I'm hoping to play this more. Got this Breath of the Wild Switch bag. This actually has like all of our Switch games, so it's actually pretty heavy right now. My problem with this case is that it, like our other case, the handle ripped off, but it like had this like flap that had like 12 games, so I actually tore it off in hopes that I could like sew it to like the bag right here, so that I can still have that flap. Because I just don't like the idea of using these cases right here. At least for, I mean, like I don't mind using it for like extra games, because I did buy this one like a day or two before I bought this case. But yeah, I really like this case. It matches my 3DS case actually, so yeah, I really like this case. But same day I got that, my wife ordered this. It's a Switch case as well, normal size Switch case, and I'd say like it doesn't. This holds 8 games. That's actually a lot more than it showed on the picture on Amazon. It showed that it could only hold 4, and I was actually really angry because I was like, "Are you serious?" It can only hold 4. You know what I mean? Yeah, this actually comes with a bigger case that's a lot more like a small suitcase, I guess, and that holds like a controller, Joy-Cons. It can hold a few things. That's more of like a Switch travel case, and this is just kind of like the, if I'm taking this to work, you know what I mean, this is what I take. So I kind of like that case as well. It's not nearly as bad as I thought it was. It honestly, I think the Mario one is actually a little more like the other case, except it holds like 4 less games or something like that, so it's not that bad. I actually had to do my research because I don't remember if I ever showed this one or not. So I must have gotten this like literally right after I did the last pickups video, and that is Fire Emblem Warriors. I liked Hyrule Warriors a bit. It did get a little repetitive. I mostly got this because I do kind of like Fire Emblem. I know that this plays nothing like Fire Emblem. This is going to play a lot more like Hyrule Warriors, so I think it's going to be a little hard for me to appreciate this like some other Fire Emblem fans, but I'm still at least looking forward to trying it out. For Christmas, I think Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I was really excited for this game because it was like a prequel, and then I found out that it's not a prequel, and in fact it is an alternate timeline, and that honestly irks me a little bit because they had a perfect opportunity to make this a prequel, and then like as like completionist goals you get like the alternate timeline stuff, you know what I mean? Because otherwise I felt like that this was honestly false advertisement, because yes, it does take place before Breath of the Wild, but that's not entirely true, because like something I guess like this robot goes back to the past or something like that and changes, you know, the timeline, and it's not actually what happened. It's, you know, a different version of that, you know what I mean? I don't know, but I'm still looking forward to playing this one. This is honestly, that's why I decided to start playing Breath of the Wild this year, was so that I could just go ahead and play this. And then the last game I got is Pokemon Shield. I originally wanted Sword because I hate the weird looking dog, but this is what they had. So it's kind of whatever. I wasn't sure if I was going to pick this one up or not, because how I play Pokemon is I usually catch a team of 6, play through the main game, and then I stop. And with Pokemon Sun and Moon, it felt kind of worth it, but then again, it didn't feel worth it. It kind of felt like I was kind of going through the motions with it. I mean, like, I still really liked Sun and Moon. I still really enjoyed it, but it was, you know, there's still that part of me that felt like I was just kind of going through the motions with it, I guess. And I just don't want that to happen with Pokemon Shield here. Alright, so, despite the fact that I've kind of moved on to the Switch, I still really like my 3DS, so I bought a few games for it. Pokemon Crystal, I'm expecting probably the best Pokemon experience, I guess, because I've heard that is just a really good Pokemon game, and I've heard it's one of the best beside like Pokemon Emerald, I think it is. I kind of have high expectations for this one, and I'm not too afraid of, you know, going through the motions like with that one, because unlike Pokemon Moon, where I spent full price on it, you know, this was, you know, $10, you know, so it wasn't nearly as bad as that, you know what I mean? Sonic the Hedgehog, the Master System version, honestly don't have much to say about this one, other than I think my biggest complaint is that the farther you get in the game, it kind of like some of the background objects just kind of pop out more, so then you're not really sure what you can and can't jump on. Other than that, I've never really been a giant fan of how the Game Gear sounds and stuff, and this game definitely kind of has that high-pitched noise that the Game Gear just kind of does. That kind of irritates me a little bit. But I heard that this version suffered a lot from screen crunch, and there are times where I see that, but the screen crunch wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. Unlike Shinobi, where I can't see things coming. Like, I literally jump like maybe 2 feet and I'm getting bombarded by something, and you know, you can say that that's just, you know, how the arcade was, and if it is, then I guess I just don't like Shinobi. I don't like that, you know, I don't have time really to react. I have to basically know what's coming before I even take a jump. You know what I mean? That is what they call beginner's trap. And, you know, that's a very outdated way of designing a game. And Dragon Quest VIII. Dragon Quest VIII, I definitely say that this is my first retail digital download. And what I kind of mean by that, like, obviously, like, Pokemon was in retail. But what I mean is, like, I guess I mean like recent retail, because I know that I'm not quite sure when Dragon Quest 8 came out. I at least remember seeing this in stores, is I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's not like Pokemon Crystal where, you know, to buy it anymore you'd go to like a resale shop. Like you could probably still go to like GameStop and find Dragon Quest 8 on their shelf, you know what I mean? Really excited to play that one. I'm mostly just looking for a Dragon Quest experience because I heard that 7 was really good, but I also heard it was 100 hours, and I don't want to do that. I don't want then I really wanted to go for Dragon Quest 11, and I got a little scared on that one. Now I still plan on playing Dragon Quest 11, but it just might not be my first Dragon Quest experience. You know what I mean? I might make 8 my first Dragon Quest experience. And if, you know, Dragon Quest 8 ends up taking me 100 hours, then all well, I guess. But, yeah, I've never played a Dragon Quest game before, and I plan on changing that. So yeah, guys, I hope, now that we've moved, I hope on getting back into video making, even if I have to, you know, do Let's Plays or something like that. I really like doing these pickup videos. I don't know why that is, but they are pretty fun to make. I also like doing review videos, and if you'll join me on my next video, this is Axelmith, and I hope you guys have a nice night.